trolling for Northern Pike in Minnesota. Check it out. Hey guys, and welcome to Kemp Outside. I'm Kevin Kemp, and Kemp Outside is your inside source for all things outside. Today we're fishing for Northern Pike in Cross Lake, Minnesota on the Whitefish chain. It's about an hour north of Brainerd, Minnesota, or 3 hours north of the Twin Cities, and west of Duluth in central Minnesota. It's a beautiful chain of lakes with plenty of fishing opportunities. And it's the dog days of summer. So it's July, it's hot, the water temperature is up. I am on my my father-in-law's boat, so I don't have pontoon to fish with me. I'm on their Sylvan pontoon boat. So I don't have a trolling motor. I don't have my normal GPS fish finder, all of the things that I would use to really go hunt fish. But I'm lucky enough to have a pontoon boat I can use, so I didn't have to haul mine 2,000 miles. And it has a fish finder, and it's got some rod holders. And so one of the easiest things to do, especially when it's hot and the water temperature is high and the fish are deep, is to troll for Northern Pike. And it's a lot of fun. So if you're up in Minnesota and you don't have your own boat, or you're borrowing a boat, or maybe you don't have a lot of fishing equipment, this is something that you can do. You can troll for Northern Pike. And it's really, really simple. So if you like what you see, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button for me, and hit that bell icon that notifies you when we release new videos. So what we're doing today is we're just out and we're trolling. So in July, there's a lot of weed growth in the lakes, and so those pike sit in the weeds and they ambush fish. And so what we're doing is we're trolling our baits over the top of those weeds. So I'm looking for a water depth around 15 feet of water, and I'm looking for the weeds to top out around 10 feet or 7 feet. And I'm running shallow water plugs that run about 3 to 4 feet deep. So I'm running those plugs right over the weed line, maybe 2 or 3 feet off the weed line, sometimes pretty close. And yes, we do get in the weeds sometimes. We have to reel them in, clear them, and recast. You know, that happens. But what we're trying to do is we're trying to stay in that 12 to 15 foot of water depth and troll those baits through there and have those pike just come out of the weeds and just smash them. And it's a ton of fun when that happens, because the rods bend over and the drags run. And so reeling the fish in is a lot of fun. The pike like to shake their head, so it's a lot of fun, and they can fight pretty hard. Sometimes they get down in the weeds though, and so it's just winching fish in with weeds all over them. But hey, you know, you take what you can get. But if you're fishing the dog days of summer and it's hot and it's the water temperature is hot and you're not having any luck bass fishing and you want to have a good time, come out on the lake, get some trolling rods. I fish with medium heavy action fishing rods with 4,000 size reels, loaded up with 15-pound Power Pro, which is a braided line, and I use the high vis yellow so I can see them out when they're trolling. So I use the high vis yellow for my trolling lines, and then I have that tied to a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then I have that tied to a short little 6 to 12 inch metal leader with a snap swivel that's clicked onto the baits. Pike have a lot of teeth, so you can troll without the metal leader if you want and just tie directly onto the bait. But I lose a lot of crankbaits that way. Those pike tend to break my line. So I may be getting less fish, but I'm at least not losing so many lures. So that's how I do it. So with that, here's some footage of us catching fish this week on the Whitefish chain. And just wanted to give a shout out to my sponsor, Fish Huge Fishing Apparel. It has been hot and sunny. When it's this time of year in Minnesota, you can really get sunburned up here. The sun's rays are really strong, so definitely get yourself a fishing shirt from Fish Huge and a face shield that protects you from the sun. So with that, check out our fishing videos, and hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, baby. Fish on. Fish on. Nice little northern. Yeah. Yeah. This is how we troll for Northern Pike. We got 2 rods out. They're medium heavies with 4,000 spinning reels. They're loaded up with 15-pound Power Pro braid. They go to a 15-pound fluorocarbon leader, and then a little metal leader. And we have a stick bait on one rod and a square lip crankbait on the other. We're marking fish, fishing in about 15 feet of water. The weed line comes up to about 7 feet. These baits are running about 5 feet deep. Northern pike come out of the weeds and just slap them. Just waiting on the next one.
So to go into a little more detail about how I do this. So the boat is in forward gear at idle speed. I'm trolling 2 baits, and when a fish hits, I want to leave the boat in gear. That way the other rod is still fishing, still trolling the bait. What happens when you take the boat out of gear is oftentimes that bait will stop fishing, it may sink, it may get hung up on weeds, it may get in the way of you trying to reel in the other fish. So I like to leave the boat in gear and fish as long as I can. If the fish is really heavy and I have to take the boat out of gear, I go ahead and do that and I don't worry about it. If I have someone else fishing with me, I will have them reel in the other rod so it's out of the way most of the time. Sometimes if I'm fishing by myself, I just have to try and avoid it. If you are doing this by yourself, be very careful to leave a boat in gear while you're on the back of the boat fishing. That can be very dangerous if you're not paying attention to where you're going, keeping in mind the safety factor. Make sure you wear your kill switch lanyard. But all in all, it's a great way to catch fish.
There we go. Fish on, baby. There we are. Yeah. Woo!
Wow, nice pike.
That's how we do it on Kemp Outside. Got my Lucky Fish Huge Bull Red shirt on. Maybe one day they'll make a Northern Pike shirt. They will if I keep catching them like this. All right. So here's a great example of a time when I wasn't sure whether or not I had a fish or if I just had weeds. So one of the things that pike will do sometimes when they get hooked up is they'll dive for the weeds hoping to get unhooked. And so sometimes you're reeling in not only a fish but a large clump of weeds, and so the clump of weeds is so big that you can't actually feel whether or not the fish is there. And so you just kind of got to keep working it in, but sometimes you'll be surprised to know that not only did you catch the meat, but you brought home the salad. So that's what we call it when we have a bunch of vegetation on our hooks. But in this case, I ended up having a fish. I just had to winch in a whole lot of vegetation with it. It's a fish, but it went down in the weeds. So I've got a boatload of weeds and I'm working my way in here. Good night. Look at all those weeds. Oh.
A fish and a weed.
Yep. Okay, Barb.
Yes.
Want to get me the net, maybe?
I'll get you the net. We'll find it. We found it.
Never mind.
Okay.
I just. There we go. This might be a nice fish. Oh yeah, forward gear. Or no, you're good, you're good. Shoot. No, I didn't lose it. I'm hung up on the other. Okay, what I need to do, let's get the net, please.
That's in the front.
Yeah, yep. Oh, I lost him. Fish on, baby. Neutral, Barb.
Neutral.
Not very big. Yep. Just a little northern.
Neutral.
Thank you. Yeah. Feels like he's got a little bit of weight to him. I don't know. Oh, that's a good little head shake he gave me. He's way back there. There he was at the surface. Oh. It's a very unhappy fish. Let's see. Yeah. Another northern. It's a lot smaller than I expected. Oh, check that out. He's got something bit him. There's always a bigger fish. There he is. Oh, quick release. All right. Good fish.
Neutral achieved.
Thank you. Yeah. I think this one's a bigger fish. Certainly seems heavier. Just keeping pressure. Oh, little jump. Is that a bass? Let's see what he is. Yep, largemouth.
Pretty big largemouth.
It's a little guy. Oh, yeah. Little fight back now. Still haven't seen it yet. Oh, there it is. Another northern. He fought a lot bigger than he was.
And of course, getting kids in on the action is even better. I don't know what's more fun, catching fish or watching my boys catch fish. Maybe it's a tie.
Keep your rod tip up, bud. Keep it up. Good. Okay. Yeah,
Whoa.
there he is.
That's a fish. Ooh, he's a splasher.
All right, let me get her on this side of you, and you're gonna bring him right to me.
Oh, that's small.
Yeah, he's good size.
Yes?
Sure. All right, I'm gonna get all the way down to the leader and just horse him in the boat.
Whoa! He's in.
That's a
Fish.
that's a fish.
Woo! I like this. I like this, Dad. I like this rod.
Yeah, keep reeling.
I think it is his bait.
Woo!
Do you mind if we trade lights?
Nope. Well, I do mind.
All right, same thing. Bring him over to this side of me. Stand over here. Yep, good
Whoa.
job.
That's a.
Oh, quick release.
You see that?
Yep, good. All right.
As the sun set on this fishing adventure, I couldn't help but think about how blessed I am to have adopted two boys 5 years ago, and that they would go fishing with me, and that we'd be able to explore the lakes of Minnesota, trolling for pike, catching bass, catching bluegill off the dock, and just having a great time. What a great trip this was, and I can't wait to go back. Hopefully next year, and maybe we'll go find that elusive 30-incher. So I hope you enjoyed the videos of us catching some fish and missing a few. You know, Northern Pike can get huge. Unfortunately, we didn't catch any really big ones this trip, but it was still a lot of fun. And definitely give it a try. If you're up in central Minnesota fishing for Northern Pike, or actually anywhere up north, fishing for Northern Pike is an absolute blast. You can also cast for them if you find a great place where there's weeds, but you've got room to throw a crankbait or a spinnerbait or something like that. They will hit that as well. So if you've got a number of people on the boat and you want to cast instead of troll, that's fine. Trolling's a great way to cover a lot of water, especially, so the Whitefish chain is a huge chain of lakes. I don't know exactly how big it is, but it's big. And so it gives me an opportunity to cover a lot of water that I wouldn't otherwise be able to cover just casting. And then obviously without a trolling motor, it's hard to really control the drift and make sure I'm in the right spot, and anchoring is a pain and that kind of thing. So definitely trolling is a great way to fish. So with that, hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button, hit that like icon, and hit that little bell that notifies you when we release new videos. And connect with us on our other social media. So we're on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Twitter. Follow along with us there. And if you fish the Whitefish chain up here in Cross Lake, Minnesota, or you fish for Northern Pike, drop some tips and tricks in the comments down there for fellow outsiders, and share your fishing stories with us. So that's it for this episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, Kemp Outside is your inside source for all things outside. We exist to help moms and dads take their kids camping, hiking, fishing, learning about nature, and developing a conservation ethic. So if you know a mom or dad who's got a kid that says, "Mom, I want to go fishing," or "Mom, I want to go camping," share these videos with them. We would love to help them get started in getting their kids outdoors. So again, I'm Kevin with Kemp Outside. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.